It was a quiet Thursday afternoon when my phone buzzed. A text from Emma, my girlfriend, lit up the screen. "We're having a baby." That was it. No emoji, no explanation, just those words wrapped in asterisks. I stared at the message, my heart pounding. A flood of emotions crashed over me: surprise, disbelief, and, strangely, a flicker of joy. We hadn't planned for this, but I loved her. And if this was real, I was ready to rise to the occasion. I called her right away. Her voice trembled when she picked up. "I didn't know how to say it in person," she whispered. "I just found out this morning." She sounded shaken, emotional. I told her we'd talk more when I got home. After hanging up, the rest of the day felt like walking through fog. I couldn't concentrate at work. My thoughts kept drifting to the future: cribs, sleepless nights, tiny socks, maybe even a ring. That evening, I stopped by a florist and picked up a bouquet of lilies, her favorite. On a whim, I also grabbed a tiny onesie that said, "Daddy's favorite." I wanted her to feel loved, supported, and to know I wasn't afraid. But when I got home, the apartment was empty. I figured she might be at her best friend Rachel's place. Emma often went there when she needed time to process things. So, I waited. I kept glancing at the door, imagining what kind of dad I might become. Every few minutes, I checked my phone for a text or a missed call. Nothing. Later that night, bored and a bit anxious, I opened Instagram. That's when everything fell apart. Rachel had just posted a photo. Emma was there, smiling, next to some guy I'd never seen before. The caption read, "So happy for the soon-to-be parents. Congrats, Emma and Tyler." My breath caught. My hands froze above the screen. I stared at the post, trying to process what I was seeing. I tapped the guy's profile. It was private, but his profile picture showed him with Emma at a bar. The date on it was just a few weeks ago. Pieces started falling into place. The late nights she claimed were work-related. The emotional distance. The vague excuses about needing space. My chest felt hollow. It was as if someone had reached inside and ripped out everything I believed. I wanted to believe it was a mistake. Some kind of joke or mix-up. I messaged Rachel. "Who's Tyler?" She didn't reply. I tried calling Emma. Straight to voicemail. I sat in silence as hours crawled by, thoughts spinning, heart breaking, fury rising. The next morning, she came home. I didn't speak. I just held out my phone and showed her the post. Her face lost all color. Tears filled her eyes. "I didn't mean for this to happen," she began, her voice cracking. "It was supposed to be one time, but it happened again. I didn't think I'd get pregnant." She confessed it all. Tyler was someone she'd met through mutual friends. Their relationship started during a rocky period between us. She claimed she still cared for me but had been confused. She admitted she told me I was the father because she thought it would somehow make things easier. But it didn't make things easier. It shattered me. She hadn't just cheated, she'd taken away my right to choose. She tried to drag me into a future that wasn't even mine. I asked her to leave. I needed time to breathe, to think, to keep from falling apart. The weeks that followed were agony. I withdrew from friends and family. Wiped our photos from my phone. Every memory of us played like a movie in my mind, on repeat. I kept asking myself what I'd missed, what I could have done differently, why I wasn't enough. Then, Rachel finally responded. She apologized for the post. She hadn't realized I didn't know the truth. She said Emma had told Tyler he was the real father and that he was now stepping up. That hurt even more, how quickly I'd been replaced. So I threw myself into rebuilding. I hit the gym. I worked overtime. I started journaling just to get the feelings out of my head and onto paper. Slowly, the pain faded. Emma wasn't the first or last thing on my mind anymore. I began to understand that some people are only meant to be a chapter, not the whole book. One day, I saw her again. It was at the grocery store. She looked exhausted but smiled politely. Her pregnancy was impossible to miss now. She opened her mouth to speak, but I simply nodded and kept walking. There was nothing left to say. My goodbye had been spoken the moment I saw that post. I may not have been the father, but I'd been spared a life built on deception. And in the end, that was closure enough.